Hello and welcome back to Koala Moon, children's bedtime stories and meditations designed to make bedtime a dream. Our cozy Christmas story tonight stars everyone's favourite little panda. Yep, it's Kira, and she's taking the day to wander around and experience the sounds, smells and sights of the Sleepy Forest Christmas market. Let's hear how it goes once we've climbed into bed and got in a snoozy mood. It's time to begin Kira's Cozy Christmas Market by Jane Thomas. Kira yawns and stretches her way into the day. It was one of those days that she just knew would be wonderful. There was something in the air, and her big black and white panda belly was telling her that good things were coming her way. Of course, it helps that she knows it's the day that she will visit the Sleepy Forest Christmas Fair. There can be few things more wonderful, after all, than walking past all those stalls piled high with cinnamon-scented food and possibilities of presents and decorations for trees. It has to be today she goes, because Koko's heading out with his friend Prickles the hedgehog. They're off to the park to see if either of them is any good at basketball. Kira can take her time in the market, choosing the perfect Christmas present for Koko. Kira picks her favourite purple bow from the table and places it just behind her ear, checking in the mirror that it is neither too straight nor too crooked, but just exactly as she liked to wear it. She takes her red bag, the one with a huge yellow circle on the side and the writing that said, "Hello, sunshine," and pops her purse inside. Kira has been saving her pocket money for weeks now, pleased with herself every time she managed to pass Papa Praline's sweet shop and not go inside, because that meant extra coins towards Koko's Christmas present. It is incredibly hard for pandas in general to pass by sweet shops, and almost impossible for Kira in particular. Oh, she stopped and looked. She sniffed the air and smelled the toffees and chocolates, the mints and the candies, and eyed up the jars of brightly coloured wrappers, and watched as others go in and select their favourite to be weighed up on the scales. But she's not set foot inside Papa Praline's sweet shop, or Betty Badger's bakery, or even the Sleepy Forest phenomenally fantastic, first-rate finest fudge emporium. Kira swings the little red bag from her paw and hums to herself as she walks along the lane that leads to the Christmas market. The scent of roasting chestnuts pours along the lane, and her nose twitches this way and that, briefly distracted here and there by a particularly beautiful-smelling rose, but always coming back to that unmistakable scent of roasting chestnuts that can only mean Christmas is near. She says a cheerful hello to each and every kookaburra she passes, and there are an awful lot of kookaburras around this morning, and every single kookaburra tells Kira their favourite joke, the ones that keep them laughing the whole day long. So, by the time she reaches the market, quite half the morning is gone. Kira's belly rumbles to remind her that she didn't have breakfast before she came out, and with it being nearly lunchtime, she steers away from the stalls filled with brightly coloured promises of presents, and instead heads towards the huge white marquee that is filled with food. She eyes up pizzas and pastas and wraps and rolls, huge bowls of soup, and perfect swirls of sushi. And then, when she's beginning to think she will never be able to make up her mind, she comes to the perfect table. "Spaghetti of a Yeti," says the sign. And Kira spies a teeny tiny Yeti standing next to a pile of bowls and a huge pot that is simmering and shimmering with spaghetti and sauce. The Yeti introduces himself as Littlefoot as he doles out an extra large portion for Kira, explaining that he has travelled from the highest mountains in the north of Italy to the bluest seas of the south, finding the best spaghetti in all the land and bringing it back here to Sleepy Forest. Kira twirls her fork around and around in the bowl, watching the long strands of spaghetti wrap themselves up, trying to be neat, but still covering her chin in bright red tomato sauce. The tiny Yeti giggles and hands her a napkin, and by the time Kira has finished her spaghetti, she has worked her way through 5 napkins, and her chin is stained positively pink by all the sauce. But it was surely the most delicious spaghetti she had ever eaten, and now she's ready to head off and find the perfect present for Koko. She's ready, she really is. But just as she's about to leave the marquee, she spots Betty Badger along with Lavender, Ginger, and Chip. They're lined up behind a table that is dressed with a bright green tablecloth and covered in baskets of buns and brownies, cookies, and cakes. Sprigs of holly sit nestled between all the baskets. Snowmen made from meringues piled one atop the other seem to be watching Kira. They look so delicious, with their blue icing scarves and tiny carrot-shaped and carrot-coloured icing noses and coal-black icing eyes. She almost reaches for one. She's so close, her paw nearly brushes up against a meringue snowman. But she shakes her head and remembers the coins in her purse and how hard she's been saving them for Koko's present. Kira walks away from the table, taking a moment to look back longingly. And just as she's about to leave the big white tent, she feels a tug on her paw. She looks down to see little Lavender holding up a bamboo biscuit, one of Kira's absolute favourite treats. "Mum says to say Merry Christmas," says Lavender. And Kira looks up to see Betty Badger waving at her and smiling before turning back to her long line of customers, eager to get their hands and paws and claws on the delicious treat she sells. She leans down to thank Lavender, but the baby badger has gone, scurrying back to the table and straightening her special Christmas market Santa hat, ready to help her mum once more. The bamboo biscuit doesn't last long. No self-respecting panda will take more than a moment to eat such a treat, and Kira can now add a few crumbs to her sauce-pink chin. She decides to look at every single stall before choosing the perfect present for Koko, and so she begins pushing her way through the crowds and waiting impatiently for her turn to see everything that's on offer. It feels as if all of Sleepy Forest is here, bustling around with bulging bags and ready with a "Merry Christmas" every time they bump into someone they know. There's something exciting about being part of this. Everyone is here with the sole purpose to find things to make others happy. And that is really a rather wonderful idea. Kira looks at each and every item for sale, all the while breathing in that scent of roasting chestnuts, and she makes a note in her mind every time she sees something that she thinks Koko would love. By the time she has reached the end of the market, the list is 20 items long. And as much as she wishes she could get every single thing for Koko, it just isn't possible. So she goes round again and manages to bring it down to just 10 things. Still too many, but better. And Kira takes a deep breath and goes around one more time, thinking carefully about all that she sees. She finally manages to make the list just 5 items long. She takes the coins from her purse and counts them out, doing the sums on her fingers and working out that she has exactly what she needs and a little bit extra. She smiles to herself, grips the red "Hello Sunshine" bag in her hand, and heads into the crowd for one final turn. The first place she stops at is a stall called Snaffles' Super Surprises. Snaffles' golden fur gleams in the late afternoon sunshine, and he is quite rushed off his feet, handing over origami frogs that were once sweet wrappers, and toy cars that were once cans of soda, and little baskets made from weaving together dozens and dozens of abandoned or broken shoelaces. Kira is after something else, though. She stands mesmerized, watching twirling, whirling coloured spinners that hang from the edges of the stall, caught in the wind and bright in the sun. The reds and greens of Christmas dancing and dazzling. Once plastic bottles, they are now beautiful additions to windows, and Kira is sure that Koko will absolutely love one. At last it's her turn, and she suddenly finds it impossible to choose. And in the end, she closes her eyes and just points, and Snaffles carefully takes the spinner down and wraps it for safety in a few pieces of old newspaper. Oh, so gently, Kira places it at the bottom of her red bag. And there it is, her first present for Koko, safely stowed. She holds the bag in front of her now as she presses on, protecting her precious cargo from the crowds. For a moment, she forgets the next item on her list, and then the carol singers start up once more, and she remembers, following their voices as the words of Silent Night drift softly through the busy market. Kira edges herself into the front of the group who are listening to the singers, the finest songbirds of the forest, with nightingales alongside canaries and warblers and meadowlarks. As the song ends, she's ready to clap, but the group launch into jingle bells with the owl conductor turning to the gathered crowd and encouraging them to sing along with the chorus. Some goats stand to the side with bells around their necks, leaping around at exactly the right time to make the bells ring and sing along with the songbirds. And once the final trill of the final note is finished, the crowd roars with pleasure, and everyone stamps their feet and claps their hands, the birds and goats blushing and smiling shyly. Kira counts out the coins needed for the sheet music that teaches how to play jingle bells on the ukulele, the perfect addition to her little red bag of Christmas presents for Koko. The next stall on her list is manned by a particularly frantic warthog and a very elegant peacock. The warthog has a tiny snowman hat atop her head, and the peacock somehow manages to look serious, even if he is sporting a hat shaped exactly like a red and green wrapped present. The Heavenly Hats Christmas stall is extremely popular, and Kira, once more, must wait her turn, crossing her fingers and hoping the soft blue woolly hat she's eyeing up for Koko will still be there when she is at last able to choose. But of course, it's there, waiting for her and waiting for Koko. Because, as we said at the beginning, this was just one of those days that was always going to be wonderful. He's a koala, so he's always climbing things, always outdoors, explains Kira as the excitable warthog pops the hat into a special golden bag and seals it with a silver star. And the warthog nods her head and agrees this is the perfect present for keeping a koala's ears warm. Then Kira needs to get herself all the way to the other side of the market, where she joins a queue that wraps itself around Christmas trees and all the way back to the stall selling the roasted chestnuts. Kira focuses hard on the queue in front of her, doing her absolute best to avoid even looking at the chestnuts and trying to pretend she can't smell their magical smell at all, reminding herself that she has only just enough coins for the things she's chosen. And if she could go without sweets and cakes and treats for all those months, she can survive a few moments longer. It isn't long until she arrives at the first of the Christmas trees, though, and she's able to distract herself by staring into glass baubles and watching as her face becomes funny and round as she peers into them to see her reflection. She looks at all the ornaments tucked away in the green branches, finding angels and nutcrackers and leaping ballerinas and running reindeer. By the time her place in the queue is alongside the next Christmas tree, the sun has started to set and the lights are being turned on. She watches as the twinkling lights cascade and tumble down and around the tree, and admires how rows and rows of gold and silver lights reach across the stalls and dance as if they were stars above the crowds. Then, at last, she's at the front, and she reaches into her purse for her photo of Koko and hands it over. And then she sits on the stool and looks back to where she's told. The smile at a crocodile stall is exactly that. You sit on the stool and smile your biggest, boldest, brightest smile, and the crocodile will draw a picture of you. And in this case, he will add a koala called Koko next to you too, as if he was really there. The crocodile works fast, glancing up at Kira and then back to his page, his paintbrush dashing around the page. An exaggerated nose here, a stretched smile there. And within minutes, she has the perfect cartoon picture of a panda and a koala, unmistakably Kira and Koko, smiling side by side with a sprig of holly in place of her bow, and a cracker being pulled between them. Kira giggles and grins and bounces off with a spring in her step, wondering how she will keep this a secret until Christmas Day. The final present she needs is on a stand that is being run by a number of shiny-faced garden gnomes. They have come into Sleepy Forest in the Christmas market all the way from Mr. Featherman's garden in lower starry skies, bringing with them some extra special good luck charms. The good luck gnomes are the creatures who add all the luck to anything in the world, whether that is a four-leafed clover, or an upturned horseshoe, or, in parts of the world, an acorn, or in other parts of the world, anything with the number 8 upon it. But they can add good luck to anything they choose, and this glorious selection on the table is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get some unique lucky charms. Kira breathes a sigh of relief as she sees the lucky silver eucalyptus leaf is still there, waiting for her to buy it for Koko. And the gnome kindly threads it onto a piece of bright red cord so he can hang it around his neck if he wishes. And then he pops it into a bag made of leaves stitched together with a thread of silkworms. The sun has quite gone from the sky, and now the stars are starting to show themselves, and the moon is rising huge and golden, edging its way over the tops of the trees' silhouettes. There aren't as many creatures here now. They've started to head home, carrying bags and boxes and pushing and pulling trolleys, all filled with presents for people they love and moments of magic to be unwrapped on Christmas Day. Kira is just about to leave the market herself when she has this very thought too, eyeing up the bundles and thinking of all the wrapping that people will be doing, smiles in place as they imagine eyes lighting up when it is finally unwrapped and secrets revealed. She looks down into her red bag and sees the red and green coloured spinner from Snaffle's stand, and the music for jingle bells from the carol singers, and the soft blue woolen hat from Heavenly Hats, and the picture of her and Koko by Smile at a Crocodile, and the silver eucalyptus lucky charm. And she wonders how on earth she's going to wrap all these odd shapes and make them beautiful. She's quietly frowning to herself when a family of bears move away from a stall, and she sees the answer to her problem. Foxes, boxes, it reads, with another line that says, for those who prefer napping to rapping. Kira yawns widely at the word napping. She is suddenly so very, very tired. She was up so early this morning and walked along the lane and talked with all those kookaburras and went around and around the market again and again, finding the perfect presents, and waited in long lines so very, very patiently. The sky was pink when she left home in the morning, and now it is black and laced with stars, and the owls are hooting in the trees, and the bats are fluttering in the soft nighttime breeze. And she thinks of her bed and sinking into it. She will have a bath, she tells herself, with extra bubbly bubbles and an extra snuggly towel, and climb into extra clean pajamas and dive into her extra soft bed. And there was the answer waiting for her. Foxes, boxes. She walked slowly to the stand and eyed up all the boxes he was selling. Some midnight blue with ribbons of silver, and others red and decorated with holly and ivy. There were big boxes and small boxes and medium boxes, tall boxes and short boxes, and really tiny boxes for really tiny presents, like necklaces for field mice, and really big boxes for really big presents, like boots for elephants. She showed the fox her presents for Koko. He was a handsome creature with a beautiful bushy tail and a smart grey waistcoat and a golden cravat. And he eyed up the gifts with an expert glance and immediately reached for the perfect box, one with a picture of a Christmas tree on the top that she knew Koko would love, and handed it over to her. Kira counted the final pennies in her purse, and because it was that day with everything wonderful in it, they were the perfect amount to buy the perfect box. "Less wrapping, more napping," said the fox with a wink as he handed it over, and Kira summoned the biggest smile she could from her very tired face and turned to walk slowly home. The kookaburras of the morning had all gone, all tucked away in their nests and fast asleep. And instead, she said, "Hello," and "Merry Christmas" to the big eyes of raccoons that shone out at her from the branches of trees. The night was warm and beautiful, with the stars doing their best to shine as brightly as they could. And Kira counted aloud as she placed one foot in front of the other. One step. "I'm a little closer to my bath," she told herself. 2 steps. "I'm a little closer to that soft towel," she said to nobody in particular. 3 steps. "I'm climbing into my pajamas," she said out loud, and a rabbit, already tucked up safely in its burrow, heard her and smiled to himself as he rolled over in his bed and snuggled deeper beneath the blankets. 4 steps, and I'm climbing into bed, said Kira. 5 steps, and my head is on the pillow. 6 steps, and I'm falling asleep. 7 steps, and I'm slipping away into dreams. She counted these aloud again and again, from 1 to 7, and then starting over, the little red bag feeling heavier and heavier with every step she took. Kira yawned as she opened the door and headed up the stairs. She yawned on the bottom step, and the next, and the next, and yawned as she finally stood on the top step. She filled the bath with extra bubbly bubbles and felt herself floating in the warm water. And then she was wrapped in the softest towel and climbing into the cleanest pajamas and burrowing into the snuggliest bed. Her head turned one way on the pillow and then the other, and Kira breathed in, and Kira breathed out. And as she did, she fell fast asleep. She fell asleep, dreaming of Koko's face as he opened the box with the Christmas tree on top. And she fell asleep, dreaming of him laughing at the picture that had been drawn of her and him with the holly on her head. and the cracker being pulled, and she fell asleep, dreaming of him climbing a tree, wearing his new blue woolly hat made from the softest wool she had ever felt. And she fell asleep, imagining him hanging his silver eucalyptus good luck charm around his neck and carrying it with him always. And finally, she fell asleep, imagining him sitting by the water one evening with the stars in the sky above and their light shining in the water below as he played his ukulele and they sang and danced by the light of the moon. And because it was a dream, she saw snowmen coming from far and wide to join them, and holding hands and circling around the lake and laughing and dancing with them, scarves blowing in the wind and carrot noses pointed into the air, and a sprinkling of stardust following their footsteps and floating gently away on the breeze to join the moon and the stars. Now we're floating into a deep and peaceful sleep. Feel how your muscles are relaxing. Your arms are heavy and your legs are too, as they loosen and release any tension remaining from the day. Feel how you let your body fall into the cozy warmth of your bed. Close your eyes, let your eyelids be heavy. Breathe deeply, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out as you continue to breathe deeply, and as you keep feeling how your body becomes soft and heavy with sleep. Let your mind drift away. That is the wonderful secret about sleep. While your body rests, lying heavily in your bed, your mind is set free, like a bird taking flight from a branch and flying up and up and up into the air. Feel how your mind loosens now, like a balloon that has been untied from a fence, and floats up and up and up like a bird. Up and up and up it floats towards the sky until it reaches up into the clouds. Imagine that you have risen up high above the world and your head has poked up through the clouds. Then spread out all around you in the silvery moonlight, white fluffy clouds that look like cotton wool or marshmallows. They look so soft and squishy you can lie back on them and roll around in them. Try it now. Lie back in the soft cradle of the clouds. Feel how they swirl and wrap around your body, holding you gently in the world of sleep. Clouds come in all shapes and sizes. Some are big and fluffy, some are slender wisps. Some look like puffy mushrooms, and others look like paintbrush strokes that have been left on the dark sky. Let your body relax. Let your mind relax too. Let your mind float off into sleep. You are peaceful. You are safe. You are being held in the cozy warmth of sleep. With your eyes closed, let your mind drift up, up, up and away. In the world of dreams, you can go anywhere you like. You can float on blue oceans with ripples and tufts of waves. Or you can visit castles built in the sky with spiraling turrets and drawbridges over sparkling moats. Or you can wander into the peaceful woods where the birds are twittering and the trees are dense with dark green leaves. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out again as you fall more deeply into your cozy sleep. And with your eyes still closed, take a look around with your mind at where your dreams have taken you. When I fall asleep, I dream that I've gone to a world high up in the clouds. Sometimes the clouds are dappled silver from the moonlight. Sometimes they're soft pink and gold, reflecting the light of the twinkling stars. What form do your dreams take? Where does your mind go when you fall asleep? Maybe in your dreams there are flocks of white fluffy sheep huddling together on the green fields. Look at the mother ewe yawn widely before she tucks her little lambs beneath her woolly fleece. Or maybe you dream of a friendly dragon, curled up with his tail wrapped around him, a little trail of clouds puffing out of his nostrils. Look, the cloud dragon is smiling at us and waving. What a friendly dragon he is. Or maybe you dream of cute puppies lying on their backs, their tongues lolling out of their mouths, their eyes closing because they've had such a long day. They look tired, and there's their papa dog, fluffy and white, padding softly over to wish the puppies good night. Up here on the sea of clouds, you can be free. Feel how light you are, weightless, floating, drifting through sleep. Feel everything heavy from the day lift off you and drift away, taken away by currents until they disappear over the bank of clouds. Any worries you have been having, watch them float away. Anything that has been weighing on your mind during the daytime, now you can let them go and watch them drift away. Your worries are not you. You are not your worries. You can let them go. Watch them float away. Now you are light as air. You are as gentle as starlight. You are as soft as the clouds. Up in the sleepy sky, everything is weightless and peaceful. The clouds stretch out like a sea of tranquility. Close your eyes and feel the clouds wrap around you. Feel them bearing your body gently into the land of sleep. Feel your eyes close. Feel them rest heavily as your body relaxes into sleep. Feel your mind lighten. Feel it loosen and drift away, light as a feather, soft as the clouds. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. The world of clouds is waiting for you. Let yourself fall into the clouds' soft, warm hug. They are here to protect you. They are here to cushion you. They are here to hold you as you enjoy your deep and peaceful sleep. Sleep well, little one. Sleep well in the land of clouds. Feel how light you are. Feel how weightless, floating, drifting through sleep. Light as air, gentle as starlight, soft as clouds. Good night.